you used to go to church and had to sit there for 2 or 3 hours and had to go to Bible study, revivals, and all that stuff, and you learn how to just sit there, even if you didn't want to be there and pay attention. And we kind of got away from that and we started trying to cater. But one thing about, if you watch the country where kids are much better at certain things, and there's no other way for me to say it, they're just better. That discipline that's necessary to get them to a place in life is used with extreme prejudice. They don't give a fuck how you feel. Your feelings don't fucking matter. If you want to know about your feelings, go do some other shit that we're gonna make you do because you didn't follow whatever the structure was. And that's one of the things that used to make us different as a nation, but just as people in general. Sometimes you have to release some of your freedom to get to to move to the next thing. You know, they didn't build the pyramids with everybody having fucking feelings. I'm pretty sure some discipline it took some discipline to get that done, right? For you math guys and engineers, I don't know if my engineer guy is still here, but think about it. How much discipline do you think it took for them to get that done with that kind of precision, or any other building that's managed to stand the test of time? And we have other buildings that are fucking falling like they're made out of twigs in not even a windstorm. You know, they can't even stand up to a fart. You know, you're like, well, how's this happening? Somebody didn't exercise the right amount of discipline. And the same thing applies to this. Like I don't have a magic wand to wave to get people to where they want to be. I wish I had that. Then I could bottle it and sell it and never have to take a phone call. But this is where I think a lot of people fail, is we're looking for a shortcut, and I don't know, or I haven't discovered a shortcut. So again, you got to exercise resources, and you have to do it. I like Leon's abstract questioning, and then extracting from that abstract questioning what you need that benefits you. Which is kind of like what I did when I look up I use I guess my internal method to just ask questions. In full disclosure, I've asked so many questions that sometimes it's just easier for me to ask questions and get to where I'm going. But as you saw with your situation, Chris, see how many different times I had to ask a question to pull us up to where we were, to give us some direction. It just takes effort. And I may do it a little bit quicker through consequence of repetition. And a really seasoned attorney will do it even quicker than me because that's what they do in many instances. From my understanding, from what I've experienced with some of the better attorneys. But even a bad attorney can give you pretty decent direction. And hey, Leon, ain't that funny? I don't know what state that is. Can a court overrule its own decision? Under the doctrine of horizontal stare decisis, an appellate court must adhere to its own prior decisions unless it finds compelling reasons to overrule itself. Huh. However, applying stare decisis is not an inexorable command, and the court is not bound by precedent when there is a significant change. Okay, there you go. That's funny as hell. I want to see that right there. That's laughable.
Can you hear me, dog?
Yeah, many times I've seen a PCA. That's laughable as hell. That's funny. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, I can hear you.
You say you can hear me?
Yeah, I can. We
Oh,
will our prior decisions unless convinced of error or a contrary decision of the Supreme Court is published. We proceed therefore to the question of whether the issue was presented for jury to these motherfuckers here. It's interesting. That's interesting. I think somebody asked about fraud. Huh. This is definitely fucking laughable. That's 50 DCA. Let's see something. But y'all, excuse me, I'm looking for the second DCA. Let me try this. And I've gone over you all before with how to do why I use Control F to find
Yeah.
yeah, to find something specific.
I think you even mentioned in one of your hearings to the hearing officer.
Say again.
I said, I think you even mentioned that in your hearing once that I watched.
Yeah. But here's the good part about that. It doesn't have to be out of the same district, DCA. If one if the Supreme Court does it, they have to follow it by rule. But if another DCA comes up with the decision, it applies to all district courts of appeal. So one makes a decision, then it applies everywhere. If another one makes a different decision, then the Supreme Court settles the question of the state. Supreme Court of the state settles the question, and the same thing would apply in the at the federal court level as well. Other thing I want to talk about before I get out of here is this right here. Anybody want to read that?